15,000.
15,000.
So you
No
basically,
problem.
so the permutation is product times city.
And I spent a little bit of time, about a year, working for Bill Bradley, Senator Bill Bradley on Capitol Hill.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is TechEDTV. We have here a guest, Dan Gudema. He is the CEO and founder of Turbo Booster, a local entrepreneur. He does a lot of work with startups too. He has a startup up, all kinds of other things with Peter Honori and some other people here. So we got him as a guest today. And hello, Dan. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Pretty loud. Loud and clear. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Like I've been, I guess we've been talking about this for a year or two, and now I'm here.
Finally.
And yeah, there's a lot to be said. The product name, just before we start, I'm going to talk about a bunch of things and how I got there.
Let's just start. Let me direct the conversation so we don't go into a lot of directions.
My ADD, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try to like fix it. I don't think we can fix that in 10 minutes, or 20 minutes, or even an hour. But anyway, so tell us, Dan, what's your background, where you from, and where are you from?
I'm originally from a town called Parsippany, New Jersey, outside New York City, and grew up there. And I went to the University of Maryland, where I studied computer science, but I actually got a political science degree. And I spent a little bit of time, about a year, working for Bill Bradley, Senator Bill Bradley on Capitol Hill. So I went into politics for a while. And I learned that politics sucks, so that ended it. There was no money, and it was sucky for me. And I did study some computer science. So I ended up getting a job at the phone company, Bell Atlantic Mobile, or Bell Atlantic. And I spent 10 years working in the growth of the cellular phone business. It went through and I became an expert at merging tech companies together. Acquisitions, 9X Mobile, Metro Mobile, Primeco PCS. I've heard all these companies all become one, Verizon. Right before Verizon, I left that company. And I left because and I know you're going to hate this because you're in the telco stuff, but I had to get out of telco. I had to get into the internet.
Out of telco.
I had to get into the internet and e-commerce and all that stuff going on. So I couldn't take it. I had to leave. And
you're like, I'm out of this crap.
Well, I was like a trunk engineer. I was like a low-level trunk and geo engineer, and the phone company, it wasn't very interesting. I'm a writer. The stuff that was going on with the growth of the internet was much more interesting to me. So I left. Actually, I did a bunch of consulting in the telco industry after that. But in the end, I ended up landing at a very fast-growing e-commerce company in Miami. It also put me into a position of being an all Spanish-speaking company, which helped me with mi español a little bit, a tiny bit, in Miami.
Un poquito.
Un poquito, mi entiendo español, and whatever. I learned how to say I learned enough Spanish, give directions to people. I would give directions all the time, and inside the building. So that was interesting. And then it was not just Spanish. It was also Russian, and today a little more Portuguese. So there's a lot of exposure to me. So leaving New Jersey, coming to Miami, and then eventually Boca, kind of gave me a lot of exposure. But two things happened along the way. I know I'm rambling here, but two things happened. So ABC Distributing, that company went from – so I was at the phone company when it went from 50,000 customers to about 5 million. So I was there during that growth. Then I went to work for ABC Distributing on a catalog company. It went from let's say $100 million in revenue to $500 million, and took them online and went through that growth. And while I was at that company, I did a startup called, which eventually we did a startup in 2001 called Predating Speed Dating. And from 2001 to 2004, it grew to be the largest dating event company in America.
So you created speeddating.com basically?
Well, predating.com.
Predating.com. So what happened? It was more like 1999 when that happened. It
was 2001 was the
2001,
year.
okay.
It was when speed dating started. Earlier that year, we were the third company. There was 8-minute dating and hurry date. Sounding familiar?
Yeah, sounds familiar. Yeah,
it was like a thingy. Kind of like today, it's whatever. It's always something. It's blockchain. Yeah. This was like a thingy for a period of time.
Right.
Growth, but it grew very fast, and we were acquired. I was still at my day job, and we were acquired for over $1 million by Cupid.com, which was they used to have an ad in New York that would say, they were radio based, and they would say, "Don't be stupid, try Cupid."
That's
Yeah.
a little stupid, but yeah.
Well, it worked.
Well, stupid, cupid,
Oh.
they rhyme. Okay, fine. I'll get that.
So, but that was like that acquisition. So I'd been through a couple of these acquisitions, so I got some experience with selling off companies and meeting with executives and dealing with that piece. But it was really around that time that I started converting from. Spent those years doing programming. I'd become a decent enough programmer, and I did all the technology for predating. I wrote every single piece of code for that.
You basically wrote all the code in what language?
PHP, MySQL on Linux. Yeah.
Okay.
When it got acquired, they moved it to .NET.
And you're like,
What a disaster.
yeah, they
I had
crushed
it. I had it when we got it back for $1 in 2011. 6 years later, I have to tell you a funny story. My partner goes, "Oh, it's .NET. We got to get it back on Linux. This is crap. Whatever, fine." So I actually put it here at a company down the block from here, Applied Eye. It was at Applied Eye for a while.
Okay.
But anyway, in the end, Vince is like, "Oh, get the old code out from like 6 years ago and get that PHP code going." So I found the old code, but the old code was on a hard drive with a Norton 2003 backup disk.
What?
Yeah, so the only way for me to it was a slice thing, right? And the only way for me to get that disk back and the code back was to use Norton this is already 2011. I needed Norton 2003. So
Where do you find that? Like in a hacker's place?
No, but if you go
You
on like
call Matt Trask?
Mac Trask, yeah. Mac Trask, yeah.
Or Mac Lehman?
No.
It's like, hey, do you have
eBay.
that? Oh, I have it
It's
here.
like I'm looking for a 3.5
Matt Trask is listening,
Um,
man. What's up, my friend? We love you.
So I go to eBay. I get the 2003 Norton backup disk. I download undo the slice and get it ready for Linux. I put all the code back on Linux, and it's at that moment I realized I didn't have a copy of the database schema. So I like, holy cow, what am I gonna do? So I just started running the program, and slowly but surely, when the queries would fail, I'd look at them carefully, and those must be the fields, and I got the thing working.
Okay.
Even more surprising is
You could do describe,
what?
Describe
Describe.
the database. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a hack.
No. But you got it working, and then you bought it for $1. You got it working.
Yes.
And now is that still working? Is still like,
We are now the largest dating event company in the country. The platform, I turned it into a semi-SaaS platform.
okay.
The old code brought forward. I keep revising it, even though we have to keep it alive.
Is it still your company, or is it something you
Yes.
sold?
So the more important changes for predating and speed dating have happened in the last couple of years. One is the company that services predating is called Take It National, which is my company, and that's
Okay.
the company that also runs SEO Turbo Booster. So it's just one software company.
So your company is TechEDTV National. That's your
Yeah.
name. Okay. So we're gonna.
And that's the product. SEO Turbo Booster is the product.
Okay.
But the previous product, the original Take It National, runs a dating company. But the fact of the matter is that I got the code working the best I could, and then I slowly, refactored a little bit over the years. And, I have a saying. My saying is, in South Florida, if you want to work here, never quit the night job. Because I always call this my night job.
This is your night job? This is not your
Well,
day
now
job?
it's my day job. But I always have a saying, never quit the night job, because you're going to lose whatever day job you got here, they're going to fire you.
Well,
right?
I mean, South Florida is not like a most stable place
No.
in the world for people that have some
So-
jobs. But here you go. Hey, we have your website here on the
There it
screen.
is. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it looks pretty cool.
That's yeah. So we recently. I'm just very lucky. My wife is she is a master. There's another thing I'll tell you about myself that's important. I'm an artist, writer. So I found out through a couple of relationships.
You wrote a book, right?
I've written
Just recently.
5 books.
Okay, what's the latest book you wrote?
Latest book I wrote. I have a new one coming, but my most recent book, it's about a year and a half old now, is Go SEO Yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
But you have another one to pitch. I think you gave it to our
I
friend
have
Athena.
I have 5 books.
Tell us about all the books. So which are the
First
books?
one is called Thinking Like a Startup. And I think I have to redo the title for people in corporations. So
Okay.
think like a startup in your corporate job.
Okay.
So it's Thinking Like a Startup. It's just a bunch of my blogs are reposted into a book.
Okay.
The next book I wrote, because I was running pitch events, I started running pitch events, Shark Tank events, after I thought I knew something about startups. And I wrote a book called Pitch that's on Amazon. And that book is just a preparatory book for people about to pitch because they were so bad. And it just gets into little details. I have things in there like why you should eat before the event, talk with your hands, get up close. You've been a judge at this pitch event. It gets into how to be more believable.
How to sound more appealing? How the story should flow?
Yeah. So there's all that we'll say that subjective stuff. But then there's sections on the critical. I have this thing like the 10 critical things you need to get across. Your name. So I even tell people, have a little piece of paper right on your hand. Just in your mind, have the 10 points you need to get across. The name of the company is X. I've seen companies pitch that forget to say their name. Everyone loses their mind when they get in front of a crowd. So so I call the critical points in the book. People have told me that book, they like that book. It's gotten some really good reviews.
So you got like some money from that? Do you make some money?
Each of my books has made about $100. Let's talk
what?
about that's it. They make crap. Maybe $100 a year. I get about $100 a year.
No way.
They're all self-published. I make, they only get, I was telling a guy last night who wants to do a series about, he's going to have me work on a series about, video series on how to write your own book. A book today is not, books are dead. Let me tell you, art is dead. The whole world of art and books is dead and dying. So books to me, a book today is your business card. My books are an advanced business card.
So basically what you're saying is that that if you're into book writing, then you better rethink your job and try to program.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got to be an entrepreneur. There's a really good book out there I read called Authority.
Okay, what is that about?
Authority is a book about how to write books and stuff like that and make money.
And actually make money.
And actually make money. If you write books that are, and this is where I'm changing my focus in my book writing the last year or two. If you write books about things that help people go right to work,
right,
like right to program, right to design, right to making money, that'll sell well.
Gotcha.
In the non-fiction area.
We went around books, dating.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the beginning of the world.
Yes.
SEO Turbo Booster. That's why I got you here because I think like a lot of people, they want to know your new startup. And you have your business card right there?
Yeah.
Is that your new book? Oh, I got a book for him.
No.
It's a business card.
It's a business card. So SEO Turbo Booster.
So tell us, okay, a lot of people, they heard SEO. They might not know what the SEO means. What is SEO first?
Search engine optimization.
What is that?
That is the process of getting found well on Google. Some people are starting to talk to me more about Bing, but it's about getting found by people who are searching.
Correct.
I'm going to be a speaker at WordCamp at the end of this month.
Oh, the WordCamp is at the end of the month?
Yes.
When? February 28th?
At FIU, 28th, 29th. I'm a speaker.
Okay, cool.
I believe they haven't approved me yet.
I was going to go to the Mobile World Congress, but with all this...
Mobile World Congress, yeah.
But all this coronavirus, I'm like, no way. I'm not going to be in a freaking plane from here to Europe.
Can I give you a little ADD thing?
And then be in the freaking metro.
Okay.
No.
You got it. A little side. Sunday night, my partner, I'm not going to say his name. He'll get upset with me. But my partner in the dating event business calls me in a frantic, says we have to have a meeting during Super Bowl. And we have this call. I don't care about the Super Bowl. So we have this meeting in Super Bowl. And he's like, we got to do something about it. And I'm like, about what? He goes, well, it's inevitable. I've done the calculations. And it's like a 2% will become, it's like 200 people has become 500 people. It's going to be 1,000 people. At this rate, I've done the chart. The whole United States will be shut down in 6 weeks. He was like, okay, so we got to prepare for the inevitable. And I'm like, okay, Vince, you're crazy.
You mentioned that.
You're a little nutty. But we did think about it. What will we do? We have this is an in-person event, so we are expecting a downturn. If this happens, it won't be too bad.
Maybe it will increase the way people search because then people will be at home more and then they will start searching more, looking for more shit.
Well, this is what's going to happen. We're focusing on video, speed dating, mobile. I met with another mobile dating app today.
Man. No, you need to feel the woman and see if just like, the feeling of being her. It's not like, okay, I watch a TV. Oh, you look good.
Here's the good news. No. Dating events going nowhere. It's like drinking beer. It's going nowhere. It's not like a fad, okay? So people like dating events. They like meeting women. Men like women like meeting men. And in person is real. So it's not. The thing I like about the business is it can't go anywhere. That business.
Okay, but SEO Turbo Booster. Let's go back to here. So we have SEO, search engine optimization that you described.
Yes, getting found better on Google.
So when I go to the Google search, I type barbershop, or I type.
You could talk it in. You could say, I'm looking for something.
I'm looking for the best accountant in Boca Raton.
Best accountant in Boca Raton. There you go.
So I find Jason. Jason Brown.
In the case of Jason, all you have to do, because he uses my product, all you got to do is say, I'd like a CPA who's an expert at marijuana in Boca Raton. I'd like, you know what, you don't even have to say Boca Raton. You could just say, I'd like a CPA, I'd like a cannabis CPA near me, and it knows Boca Raton. This is the little secret.
Right.
It's part of SEO Turbo Booster that we focus on. I call it, they used to say local, right? We always talk about local in SEO.
By local, yeah.
Like that means that when you do a search, what's local, Google makes it show up. We use something called hyperlocal. So hyperlocal is the concept of using more than just your town, but using geo from all the surrounding towns.
So you create like instances of you around all your area or something like that.
I'll give you a real example. If you are interested in SEO Turbo Booster, I'll give you a great example. We have a client in Lake Worth that is a kava bar, and it had so many problems with SEO, with getting found in the internet, because in Lake Worth there's another kava bar called Kava Sutra that is like domineering the SEO. Like everything's Kava Sutra. And GMB, you know what GMB stands for?
No.
Google My Business. It's
Okay.
very important.
Okay.
Little side note, Google My Business. Google has focused totally on that. You can go in your Google My Business, which is about your business for the mapping and
Right.
your business listing. You can do posts in there like you're doing Instagram with your images and videos.
Yeah, I've seen that,
Yeah.
but I don't use it.
You know, for you and me and our businesses, which are national or global, we don't have a fixed location that they're coming to, specifically like a coffee shop.
Right.
But for the coffee shop, independent coffee shop, or this kava bar, this GMB is important.
So let me ask you this. So when I get the SEO
We don't do
Turbo,
GMB though.
you don't.
do
Okay,
GMB.
okay.
Yeah, we don't do GMB, but even better, you put in Lake Worth Kava Bar today,
And then you can find it.
and they're number one.
Number one.
And then Kava Sutra is all below them. Now that's because there's a term we use in SEO called authority.
Right.
And we do generate a lot of pages, but the goal is to make you an authority. Once you're the authority under a subject, that's why Amazon shows up. That's why Craigslist, believe it or not, is one of the authorities. So I was just looking at a chart today of about 8 sites across the board that the authority sites. Apple. We used to use the word PageRank. They got rid of that, where they were PageRank number 1.
So PageRank is remember the page ranking and the algorithm that.
They got rid of that.
Okay.
And let me explain where that went. It's not that PageRank is gone. It's that everyone gets a different search.
Okay.
PageRank meant something when everyone got the same search. But
But
today
now,
everyone gets a different search.
now it's like a search dedicated per person, per user.
Per person. And I did a bunch of blog articles on this. I call it, 10 areas of influence. 10 areas of influence.
Gotcha.
And those areas of influence in SEO, they're constantly changing. Like today, I'm hearing from I hear it from a bunch of people if I go to a bunch of events. Up till recently, I'd say local and mobile were the 2 most important influential pieces up till recently. But I'm hearing today that, and I have a this is just my intuition, that video is about to surpass those 2.
Oh.
I think, and that means that
So you need to everyone needs to be pushing more video out.
Absolutely, and YouTube itself and Google, which owns YouTube, is looking at YouTube as the video that's at the
That's generating everything. Okay, got it.
But let me talk about something that's affected SEO and SEO Turbo Booster customers and myself that drove me insane this summer. This summer, do you ever look for a job on Google? You ever look for a job, or say look up to hire people? You would say product manager, Boca Raton. Fine. The search results would come up with Indeed at the top, like
Right.
the first grouping.
Right.
No more.
You're right. Now what they're doing, it's like they're doing their own stuff, right?
I call it the Google blocks, and the blocks suck for us. Okay, so the block comes up and it takes up like 1/3 of the. So they pushed Indeed down.
Yeah, but what I've been looking in the latest searches is that they're putting the blocks first.
Yeah, the blocks.
And then their ads.
Then
So
the
if you
ads.
want to find your stuff, you're like
gone.
way down there.
There you go.
And then it's like, okay,
Not much left.
Okay, what's going on? What do I do?
And there's more ads at the bottom.
Okay, so what I did for my website, I just put my own blocks to answer the questions about my company,
Okay.
the FAQs.
The FAQ stuff. So
Yeah.
the FAQ, it's interesting. What do you know about rich snippets? You know about that
Yes,
schema
yes,
stuff?
I heard of that. So I fill out some of the snippets there. And actually, the 2 sites I have, Telecom and Corp, they have, like when you do a search for a company,
Yeah.
then usually you find one link,
Gotcha.
and then you have the sublinks,
Subblock, yeah.
the subblocks. I got that for both.
Excellent.
But I couldn't get that for my personal name. I don't know why. I can never get it. I did everything, and it doesn't work.
So, I'm aware of all these activities going on. Google has put a lot of, we support the rich snippets in a different way. So think of our tool, SEO Turbo Booster, as like, let's say you're this kava bar. I don't know if we've done the rich snippets for him, but
remember, like
Yeah.
you're talking about rich snippet with, I'm a developer, so I know
Yeah.
what they are. But
has to
the
be
majority
automatic.
of people, they don't even have a clue what they're talking about.
you got it.
it's
You got it.
So they don't even, you don't need to tell anything about rich snippets, because they will be like,
It's
rich
in-
what? Is it rich? Is it delicious? Or is it small?
Gotcha.
So they will not know. I
They'll
mean,
be like, is that something? It's
I
tasty
eat that.
Like,
It's
tasty
like-
cookies.
is it
Do
fun?
I drink it with Java?
Is it like marijuana? Is it what's going on? But
So,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Anyway.
so you do the work for them, and
This-
then the things start popping, and then they appear first or before their competitors when they do the
Yes.
search.
in a little bit, I use a term that we cover a lot of bases that other people don't.
So instead of you
automation.
manual, okay, because people don't understand if they want to do this manually or they
Yeah.
want to hire someone by hand.
There you go.
That's the problem,
Okay,
because it's
there you
gonna
go.
be typing,
Copy,
and
paste,
typing,
copy, paste.
copy paste, typing more. Oh, I messed up. Oh, that's not the keyword. Oh, I messed up the keyword everywhere. I got to go back and fix all of them. And those need to be done per page, per website, per search,
city,
per city,
per keyword.
everything. So it's a lot of work. So that's where you come, and you
Yes.
come and save the day for everybody to
Yes.
not type anything. Well,
They
or
just
type a
fill
little
in,
bit.
They fill in forms, and then they can come back and make adjustments. And
Yeah, and then you generate all the different sites around that. And how many pages do you generate? As I say,
our
understand.
larger, and we also kind of break into two kinds of clients. We have enterprise level or national companies. Usually, one of our specialties has been, if you're actually listening to this, we've done great with product on shelf, like nutritional supplement,
Oh, really?
health food, natural food.
How
medical food.
about the funnels that people are using right now? Are you
ClickFunnels?
Yeah.
So because of ClickFunnels' success, now ClickFunnels doesn't work in WordPress. ClickFunnels is a system unto itself.
Right.
Our product we're a landing page generator. Inside of that landing page, and I'm learning so much myself each time we do a new version, I'm always saying the next version, and it's true. So we're focused this year on getting to ClickFunnels, where we provide. So right now we're not DIY. You call us, especially if you're a natural supplement company. Contact us. Go to SEOTurboBooster.com. For some of those supplement companies we work for, I'd say the biggest one had 15,000 pages.
15,000.
15,000.
So you
No
basically
problem.
so the permutation is product times city times
Every store.
every store
Yeah.
times
State,
state. Oh my God.
State.
That way
city.
you have 15,000 pages.
Yeah, yeah. And it was all legitimate, and Google doesn't have a problem with it, and they're all physical store pages with the keyword combos. And, in some cases, for one of our clients, we were outdoing Publix with the keyword.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So how can they find you, man? Because it's just like
we're all over the place
so
now.
I'm here. I'm gonna put up the website again.
Yeah. SEO Turbo Booster.
.com.
.com. And
So I'm pretty sure if I type SEO and boosting, then you'll
if
be
you're
number
close
one.
enough, you'll probably see us. There's another couple products out there. There's actually an SEO booster. There's a bunch of other similar, but we've been doing so much activity with video recently, with content, and we're about to do a second deployment of our own product on our site, like for the new version, and we're going to be everywhere.
Okay. Well, guys, stay tuned. Danny is working on matching you basically
Yeah.
with the words. So is that
Now-
so you're like doing a dating with the words, with
Yeah.
the keywords?
Yeah.
You're matching websites with keywords.
We're matching websites with keywords. The biggest challenge for me, because I am a writer and I'm detail-oriented and I'm ADD, is like even if you look at our site, is just simplifying our message to the point where it's simple. Our customers just need to know the simple message. I'm trying to get away from complexity right now.
No,
It's a simple
I think it's clear. I like your logo. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it has
My
good
wife,
colors.
my wife is really good design.
So your
branding
wife
person.
is the copywriter, basically.
Yeah, and design
so-
branding person. It's funny, that logo was designed after like a Pennzoil oil can on purpose. and it actually if you go-
Because it oils the boosting kind of thing.
yeah,
system.
and the
Okay.
other thing is the S is our look up above the word SEO Turbos. Look at the fav icon in
Yeah.
it's infinity. Got it?
Got it. It's a cool name.
Yeah. So she made, it didn't seem like a great name at one point, but we made it work. It's got a lot of complexities. We also we're in the middle of, we've done a bunch of other things like Reg D with it. We're going to be doing I'm doing the middle of a Reg A Plus with it.
Okay.
I'm not sure what we're going to do, whether we're going to do what we're going to raise. We're going to raise a little bit of capital. I have a whole bunch of people trying to throw money at me and customers and stuff. So things are good. Things are good
Perfect.
now.
Perfect.
And, but beyond that, I'm just so happy when we get a customer. And the thing is, our customers are happy customers. We do not have long-term contracts. They go month to month, and when they don't want it, they tell us turn it off.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, I think that's it for today. I think we reached our 25-minute mark. I'd like to keep the podcast at around 25 minutes. So what are your last words or your last wishes, I call it? Well, I shouldn't say last wishes because we're not killing you, but
if you want to get found better, if you have any issues with your current SEO or marketing or online marketing, SEO Turbo Booster, let's just say it's not like anything on the market. It's described as amazing, different, niche. We've had people say you can't do that. We've had people say that's so 1990s. We've had so many weird comments. And a lot of people, best way to describe this is not like anything on the market, because one of the things we didn't mention is we also consult with it along with the software. And I'm looking for big resellers. I would love to get more marketing resellers. Mr. Berkowitz, if you're listening, or Mr. Exalts, if you're listening, or whoever those guys. I know all these guys out there.
So that's your message. So talk to the camera and tell them, I want you.
I want you.
Well, this one actually.
If you work for Zimmerman, if you work for Exalts, if you work for 10 Golden Rules, if you work for any kind of agency in the area, you know who I am, Dan Gudema. You know about SEO Turbo Booster. We're taking on resellers. Contact us. You can use our product. It goes right to work for you, and you don't have to hire more people. You just use the software.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Dan. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and you're watching TechEDTV.
And remember, never quit the night job.
Never quit the night job. Kiyosaki. Bye-bye.